Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can take a picture that you've printed from your printer and transfer it onto canvas. All you need is a canvas, a pot of Mod Podge and a paintbrush. This is just a printed picture on normal printing paper. It's not photo paper, it's just normal paper. So you just print the picture off that you want onto your normal paper. I have a canvas here. Can't quite see it because of its quite large. Underneath the canvas I put a couple of books in a piece of plastic. It's just a little piece of plastic bag. That's just to keep the canvas from bending in the middle. So what we have to do is, I've made little corner marks where my photo is going to sit centre on the canvas at each of the corners up here and at there. It's just to keep a little guide, just to keep it straight. Now when you print your photo off, you need to remember that if it's got any writing on it, you need to do it back to front. So you need to print it off back to front. So when I stick this down, if you can just see the babies through there, Ava is actually going to be on the left side rather than the right side. So what you need is Mod Podge, and this is a satin one, and you're going to need a brush. Now we're just going to take some of the Mod Podge and pour it onto your canvas. Now you have to make sure you've got your Mod Podge or PVA glue. PVA glue will work as well. You have to make sure that all your canvas is covered. If you don't, you won't get any picture transfer onto the dry areas. So take your time and just make sure that you get all your area covered. Now once you've done this, you're going to have to let it dry before we go to the next stage. It doesn't matter if you go past where you've marked, as long as the inside area here is covered in your glue or your Mod Podge. Now I'm going both ways, up and down and across, just to make sure that I don't have any dry areas where my picture's going to go. What we're going to do is, I'm just going to match up the little dots that I had. The best you can. And then roll your sleeves up and get that picture stuck down so that there's no air bubbles. Now I'm just using one of those fake plastic credit cards that comes through the post. Now you've really got to make sure you smooth down where the bubbles are. We don't want any air bubbles. So there we are. So as you can see, before it's stuck to the canvas. So we just pop back 24 hours, I'll fast forward the video and we'll just leave this to dry. Okay, so now we've left this to dry. So what we need to do now is, I've got some cold water here. And what we need to do is, we need to rub the paper with the cold water. Because what it's going to do is we're going to rub this top layer of paper away, and it's going to leave the printed image on the canvas. Well, you don't want to saturate it. So just gently rub away the top layer of paper. Now what we're doing is we're just very carefully rubbing this. If you don't want an antique look, then take your time, keep stopping. Now what happens is, when we've put the layer of Mod Podge on and then put the printed paper on, use as thin a paper for your printing as possible. The ink soaks into the Mod Podge, and when we leave it to dry, the ink is trapped inside the Mod Podge, leaving the picture behind. So sometimes there are few layers of paper to rub through. Now I'm rubbing some of the areas a little harder. I want an antique look. If you don't want that, stop on this area and move to another one. You can clearly see the grey of the paper, and you can see the ink underneath. Can you see it here, up here on the top? Now all you have to do is keep wetting your fingers and then rub some more away. Just do it gently. Rub all the excess little flakes away. And then all you need to do is move to another area. You can set it aside to dry again and then wet it and start the process once more. Now if you want a nice clean picture, take your time. Keep wetting your fingers, don't rub too hard, and take your time, because sometimes you may have more than one layer of the paper you printed on to take off. So just take your time. Now I want an antique look with this, so in some of the areas I've rubbed a little harder. The more of these you do, the better you're going to get. And you will know from your paper and your printer just how hard you can rub, how much water you're going to need, and those type of things. I don't know what kind of paper that you're going to be using for your printing, but just take your time and see how you get on. You can always just try this on old canvases and things just to give it a shot. Canvases can be really cheap as well. You can get canvases really cheap in your pound shop, in your dollar store, in all the local really cheap places. Just to give this a try, just start on something small first. So I'm going to rub just a little bit harder. I want an antique look, and to get that I need to have some of the canvas show through. Now my paper layer is nearly dry, so I'm giving it a really good rub to bring that up. If you want a nice clean look, like I've said already, just wet this paper again and then rub it gently, and that way you'll get a nice clean photo if you want the photo on the canvas. Now I'm going to finish mine here. I've done just about as much as I want to do with this one, and I think it's perfect. It looks quite antique. It's got the nice rubbed down, used, battered about look that I actually want of this picture. Now I achieved this stunning result by taking my time. I did it very slowly. Every now and then I let the picture dry out, and then I began again with the water. So all it leaves me to say is thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. Just click the subscribe button. Come and join me on Facebook on my craft group, which is called Crafty Twints. You're quite welcome to come and join me there. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.